Every year, on the Wednesday before Easter, Gazans would come together at the beach. The sea is sacred. The sea is almighty. They come to cleanse their bodies and seek protection from the evil eye. It is how Ayub the prophet was cured of his sickness, they believe. Women who dream of marriage or having children immerse their heads in the water, allowing the waves to gently caress them 7 times. In this episode, we talk about Gaza's sea, its resilient people, and a powerful film that offers us the last footage of Gaza before the genocide. This episode was recorded on August 17, 2024. I am your host, Talal Isa, and you're listening to Tarwida. With me today is Palestinian filmmaker Asma Bseiso, an award-winning filmmaker, media consultant and trainer who lives and works between Amman and Gaza. The 7 Waves is Asma's most recent documentary film. It documents Gazans' relationship to the sea by focusing on the stories of Bisan, a Palestinian rower, and Muhammad, a fisherman and lifeguard. We are very happy to have you with us, Asma. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm so happy too.
Tell us more about why you chose the sea to be the main character of your film.
So basically, the Sea of Gaza is something like a life buoy to the people. It's part of the identity of the place. I don't think without the Sea of Gaza, the people would be as resilient and as strong. They go to the sea to overcome all the hardships, the siege, the daily problems of the life. You know, it's the place where all the Gazans go to just get rid of the pressure and the stress of every day. And I feel that it's like, as a sea, it also has a character. It's a resistant character as well. And I can't imagine Gaza without a sea.
So tell us more about the folktale of the 7 Waves. You said that people go there to, get power from the sea and forget all their worries. But they also, from the folktale and from this ritual, they also go there to cleanse their souls and bodies. And this is where the title of your film comes from.
Yeah. I feel that Gaza has a mystical, spiritual side to it. It's very, very it's a unique place, and it's not like any other place in the world. So it has this vague spiritual side, and the people of Gaza, most of them, they know about the myth that says that when you dive into the sea, like 7 dives, you will be cured from the envy, from whatever sickness you have, and if a woman can't give birth, she would do that and she will be cured. I think also because the people believe in this myth, it actually happens. It gets, it becomes true.
Prophecy. Yeah. I think mythology is very important in any kind of resistance, because it kind of unifies the people and it allows the people to see beyond the everyday life.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful folktale. I really enjoyed learning about it. I didn't know about it. So at the very beginning of the film, you dedicate it to your father. Tell us a bit about your father, Allah yarhamu, and your relationship to him, and how this film relates to him.
Yeah. So early on, when I started making films, and in 2008, I went to Gaza during the war, and the war of 2008, 2009, and my father, since that time, wanted me to make a film about the sea, because he's in love with the Sea of Gaza, and he passed this on to us, the love of the sea. I actually got exposed to the sea when I was 12 years old, on my first visit to Gaza. So that's where I I knew about the sea and ever had the chance to dive into it and explore it, you know. So I didn't get the chance to make this film before, because since the war of 2008, I just went that time and then in 2021. And that's when I decided to make this film and make my father's dream come true. Um, I shot this film. It's about the people of Gaza, the people of the sea. And my father had the chance to watch it. And then he passed away
Oh,
3 months ago. So I'm so glad that I made his dream come true before he passed away and he had the chance to watch it, you know. Yeah, so
what did he think of it?
he loved it actually. There were not so much comments, but he loved it. And before that, he used to say, like, I encourage you to make this film. The Sea of Gaza is very important. I'm gonna give you some footage. I will talk with the Palestinian TV and get archives for the sea. Like, he was so eager about making a film about the sea. And when I went there, actually, my intention was to give workshops and trainings to the people. I didn't have in mind anything about making any more documentaries at that time. And yeah, when I was talking to my father on the phone, he's like, just don't miss the chance. You're getting back to Jordan, just shoot it. Make the film about the sea. I said, okay, I'm going to do it this time. And I did it. Yeah.
Amazing, very inspiring father, يعني, and it reminds me of Bisan's father. Bisan, the main character of the film, who is the Palestinian rower. He supported her and he was her coach, although he knew that society wouldn't necessarily accept her being a girl, you know, waking up in the morning and riding a bicycle and swimming in the sea. I really wanted to know more about him as a father and how he was able to do that, but he didn't speak much in the film. So tell us about him more and how he was able to overcome all the pressures and all the stereotypes that come in any Arab city.
Yeah, actually, he's a very strong man, and he could care less about people's opinions. That's how I can that's how I see him, because yeah, he knows where he lives, and you know, Gaza is a conservative city. But his family is more important than the society. He knows very well that like he knows his daughters very well. He's not that open-minded as people may think. A combination between being conservative and very caring for his daughters. At the same time, he's open as long as he's in the scene, you know? As long as he knows everything, he's fine. And he wants his daughters to be in a different place, in a better place with regards to the sports, and their family, the Bakr family, they're exposed to the sea. It's part of their lives. As Al Bougi, as Muhammad said in the film, it's a family that's really connected with the sea. So I don't think. Sometimes they don't see that the sea can be an obstacle to the society or whatever, you know?
What I found very moving is their definition of themselves in relation to the sea. So they would say, "Ana ibn al-Bahar," I am the son of the sea.
Yeah.
And I belong to the sea. So as you said, they come from the sea. And it's very moving to see this relationship. And how do you feel that your film is the last film to document Gaza before the genocide? How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's dreadful. It's sad. It's I don't know. It's complicated, you know. When the war started, like a month later, I was seeing the destruction and demolishing of everything, the towers, the streets, the infrastructure. Unconsciously, I started searching for videos on Google and on YouTube for Gaza and back in the 60s and in the 40s and whatever I can find about Gaza, even pictures, just to make me feel that the place is still the same, you know? And yeah, I'm getting goosebumps now because it's really sad. I'm someone who connects with the places, so seeing that place in this horrible situation is very sad. But at the same time, I'm glad that I had the chance to make this film thanks to my father. May his Allah yarhamah, may his soul rest in peace. And also, even when the war started, I started messaging my students, my former students in Gaza, and I said, just film, take videos, do whatever you can. Just please do that. It's very important. Forget about editing, forget about creating a story or thinking about it like in a complicated way. Just please do that. It's very important. Some did that, but the others, like most of them, said, "Okay, I think you're in a different world. Like we don't have chargers, we don't have even our phones are not the best." I believe that the archives are very important. Yeah, it just it's a proof that it's our land. The archives, the places, the streets, the cafes.
Because this is one way the occupation tries to erase us as a
Exactly.
people, is to ruin our infrastructure, ruin our historical sites, or any form of life before their existence. And I was very moved when I saw the Al Khalidi Mosque in your film. I think it was a beautiful shot of it at the sea, and it was very important for me to see it that way because now it is destroyed. And I think, as you said, that the archival footage is very important, and I'm very glad that you were able to capture it. It also reminded me of another film from Gaza. You can watch it on Netflix. It's called One More Jump. It's about a group of Gazans who practice parkour in Gaza, and they document Gaza's airport that was abandoned. But it was so important for me as a Palestinian to see that airport, to see the structure and how these young men, young boys and men are, jumping over it and playing around it and practicing the sport. I think it is very important to know that there was an airport in Gaza, that there was this opportunity, there was this dream of having a state there. But obviously the occupation turned it down and destroyed it a few years after it was inaugurated in 1998. So yeah, going back to your film, there were a lot of contrasts. The lifeguards who are supposed to protect the people from drowning are themselves drowning in debt, in unemployment. So there was this constant contrast. There was also, the scenes of the sea and then the scenes of the destruction from the war. You were kind of doing a juxtaposition between the two. And there were two endings. There was the ending of the main characters in the sea. They're just swimming in the sea. But then there's another ending, which is a much, much darker one after the genocide. So tell us more about, the end credits, because you talk a lot about people who were lost, who got martyred in the war, such as Rushdie Sarraj. And you also gave a tribute to Hani Pseso, I believe. So tell us more about these people.
So Rushdie was one of the people who were martyred in the first month of the war. And I know him personally. Like, I know he was my neighbor, actually, not only a person who I just worked with. He was a filmmaker, and he gave me his camera to film. I rented it from him, and I was shocked when I heard that he was targeted in this war, because I know that, like, okay, he's just a filmmaker. He doesn't do anything else. I'm sure about that.
What about Bisan and Muhammad?
They're alive, and they left their houses in the beginning of the war because they live like at the borderline of Mukhayyam al-Shati, al-Shati refugee camp. So they had to leave from the very beginning. And I think that their houses are demolished already. They were in Rafah. Bisan was like, she was following me and seeing what's going on with the film, and she's so happy about it. She would love to see it. I said, okay, one day we're going to screen it in Gaza very soon, maybe in one of the refugee camps. So yeah, she's they're alive, alhamdulillah. And Muhammad is her cousin, her father's cousin, so he's also all right. He's fine, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
There was a very moving scene in the film. It gave me the chills when I watched it, when Bisan and the girls from school, they were studying in her room and they jokingly mentioned genocide. I was shocked. I was like, these girls know it's coming, or what's happening here? So tell us more about it. Like, what was happening?
I'm not sure if they already know about it. Like many people, when I was actually there, many people were saying that there's a war coming and it's going to be a big war. Yeah, they felt it. They know it. They know their enemy. They saw it coming, but I don't think Bisan and her friends meant it literally, but because of the situation of Gaza in general, like it's part of the daily life to talk about the war, to talk about these things, politics. It's not something like, yeah, it's just a subject they want to talk about, or something to discuss, because it's part of their daily life, the siege, the everything.
It's a shadow that kind of like follows them everywhere. And
yeah, absolutely. Even if the war happens every couple of years once, but it leaves this impact. They're always talking about politics. Even the little kids in Gaza know about politics,
And yet you were able also to show the other side of the story, which is celebration of life. You showed weddings, you showed birthdays, and I found that very heartwarming. You mentioned in one of your interviews that this is done on purpose, and you try to also balance between, the dark side of it all, but also the celebration that the Gazan people, strive for despite of the occupation. So tell us more about these moments, these celebratory moments.
The people of Gaza, they love life. They enjoy it. They love to have fun. Even if they're even the poor and the rich, everyone, they just go to the sea, enjoy their time, celebrate, dance. 24/7, you hear the sounds of the songs, the Egyptian, mahrajanat in Gaza all the time. So yeah, this is Gaza. It's not how I wanted to convey it. This is the life there, and I don't like how the news and the media just focuses on certain things all the time. The war, the suffering. No, it's part of the culture and the society, everything. It's part of the culture.
One of my favorite scenes of the film was when Bisan turns to you behind the camera and she asks you to taste something that she was cooking on the stove. And this was one of the very, very few incidents, maybe the only incident where we are aware of your presence. And I found it very, very interesting that you broke the fourth wall and reminded us of your presence. So tell us more about why you chose to keep that scene.
Okay, I like this question because it's more into the directing style. So there are two kinds of directors in the documentary world. Someone who's really involved in the story and someone who's a little bit far away, who's just observing and is not part of the story. But like early on, I decided that I have to be in every film without being filmed, because I don't like to be filmed or in front of the camera. But I always dreamed of becoming a documentary auteur, to have my own style, to be like whenever you watch a film, even if it doesn't have my name, you would know that it's mine. And because it's very important to me to build this trust and strong relationship with my characters. So I like the people to know that it didn't come like it's not just an official interview or whatever, I like to show the personal side to everything in my film, so that the people would really connect with the characters as well, as much as I am connected to them. And it takes time to, of course, to break the wall, to break the ice, and to talk with them openly, and to be in their bedrooms and in their houses. But yeah, it's intentional, and I like this.
And you do it much, much more in your other film, which is
لسه عايشة.
لسه عايشة. You are almost one character of the film, because there's always them trying to kind of like either run away from you or joke with you, and your voice is even more present. And I was thinking how you were able really to get the trust of these people, especially Aisha. For those who didn't watch the film, this is a film about Aisha, who is a girl whose parents abandoned her, and she spent most of her life in different foster homes in Jordan. So Asma, you accompanied her for 5 years. You you almost lived with her. You went into her house, into her bedroom. You got to know her flatmates, her boss at work. So tell us more about your relationship with her, especially that she said you, Asma, I remember this from the beginning, I think. You, Asma, are one of the very few people I don't mind talking to, or I enjoy talking to, something like that, which was very heartwarming as well.
At the beginning, Aisha appeared in a short documentary before, and she refused to show up with her face physically. And she was like blurred. But when I talked to her like on our first interview, I was like, "Listen, I'm not gonna. It's not a reportage. It's not a journalistic piece. I need to get to know you very well before I start filming." And on the first day I was shooting with her, the main interview, I was very young, so I started with the interview. She started saying things that are very like controversial and very private. I stopped the camera. I said, "You don't know me. Why are you saying this? You live in a conservative society.
I can harm you."
Exactly. I could get the Oscars for what you're just saying. But at the same time, I'm just don't trust me that much, And I was serious. And then little by little, we became friends, and she became a friend of the family. And she, like my father, Allah yarhamu, when he used to travel, he used to bring her gifts and chocolate. She became a part of our family. And that's, I think, what made the film that personal and that powerful. Because, yeah, I was filming as if I was filming with my sister. And she trusted me. And actually, we agreed from the very beginning. She said, "I don't want this film to be in Jordan, to screen in Jordan, because I'm worried about my family, my sisters. And, the orphans live in a bubble. And most of them, they don't admit that they come from foster homes." So I said, "Okay, no problem. I'm not going to harm you, not in any way. Just to get more popular or famous or whatever." Yeah, I focus on the ethical part of everything I do. And to me, my relationships with the people is more important than my fame and my success in whatever I do, because they are the people who helped me succeed, and I can't betray them.
And both of your films reminded me also that us female filmmakers, producers, journalists, whatever, we have access to these young women's lives, and we can really build trust with them as long as we're doing it obviously ethically. And it kind of like gave me a push as a female journalist myself to pursue these stories, because I remember after I graduated from journalism school, I was fighting with my male journalist friend, and I always told him, you have it easier, you can do whatever you want, you can move easily, no one talks to you, so it's much harder for us. And he used to tell me, Tala, you have no idea how much easier it is for you. I'm like, what? And then he made me realize that actually people would trust me more, whether it was a woman or a man. And we can get access to women's spaces, but male journalists don't. At the same time, we can get access, or this is a question to you. How did you get access to a male-dominated place such as the lifeguard space? At some point, there were like almost 12 men. And I was just wondering, like thinking about Asma, like the only woman, 12 bodyguards, 12 lifeguards around her. So tell us more about also getting access to male-dominated spaces as a filmmaker.
Yeah. That's interesting. You know, I always give this example about being a woman, and because of being a woman, I have access, as you said, to so many things. And one of them is getting into Gaza at the first in 2008, because I was a woman and the only woman at the borders. Like at that time, they only allowed doctors and journalists to get in for a specific time. And I was the only woman there. And they're like, the Egyptians were like, where's your husband? Where's your father? Where's your whoever? Like, where's any male figure in your life? And I said, no, actually, I'm on my own. So that's how I stayed there like 7 hours waiting for them to get me in. And they're like, what shall we do with this woman? She's the only woman here. She's causing us problems, she's troublesome. At the end, I said, I'm not going back. I will sleep on the borders. Then they allowed me in because and actually I signed the paper to stay for 2 days, and I stayed for 3 weeks. Also because I'm a woman, they had no doubts about me, So yeah, I'm privileged to be a woman. As for the scene in Gaza with the 12 men, because I started filming with them earlier with El Boogie, so he already knows me, and Imad, his friend. I sat with them many times. They weren't as a big group. Like it wasn't a big group before, but yeah, I got to know them one-on-one. And then when they gathered, it was fine. I didn't think much about it,
Except for Ghadab. I felt like Ghadab was not very happy with what's happening. So Ghadab, which is anger in Arabic, is a nickname that the lifeguards give to their other friend who's a lifeguard. And obviously he's angry. He's angry at the world, and he has all the right, and he doesn't speak much on camera. We only, I think, hear him speak once, but you keep showing his face. And I love that, but I'm not sure if he liked it. But I felt like you did it on purpose. And I wanted to ask you about him in particular, because he wasn't very interested. It was obvious. And he didn't speak on camera. So why did you keep bringing up his face?
Because he's a character, actually, because he's one of the very important characters in the film. Like they were talking about him. Yeah, he's interesting. And he gives that impression that he's not interested, and he refused to talk in front of the camera. But at the same time, I know that he was like a little bit happy, but he didn't want to show it. Yeah, so...
But it was also like a reminder to me that sometimes it's not always about what people say, but it's also about how they fit in the story.
Yes.
And I really felt it. I felt the character, even though he didn't like say one word. So I found it very smart that you actually kept him there.
Thank you.
Tell us about the challenges you had filming this film.
As I said before, there was no intention for me to make any films in Gaza. So I didn't have any equipment when I got there. I started realizing the problems when I started giving the workshops, because my students wanted to film. So I knew that there is not enough equipment in Gaza, because during that war, Israel bombed one of the very central buildings of media, where all the equipment is there, and mostly all the TV stations. So many so much of the equipment was demolished and broken. And
So you rely on your soundtrack on Yusur Hamid's music and songs.
رايح جاي بالعتمة وقلبك طاوي بيني وبينك مسافة في بيننا بلاوي لاوي قاعدة فوق عالبلكون بتفرج عالبيمر من هون بسمع صوت راسي المجنون بالسما غير حالي
Tell us more about why you chose her songs. For those of you who don't know who Yusur is, she's a Palestinian singer and artist. I recommend her work, and you can go check it out on YouTube and probably Spotify. I found it very, very suiting for the film, but I wanted to learn from you how you made that decision.
Selecting the music for the film is not an easy process. So I started listening to most of the underground, independent musicians, Palestinian musicians. And I heard a song called Asli Berri. So I thought, wow.
It's very bold.
Yes.
Yeah.
غرست فيه أنثوية مستمدة مستعدة
شرسة برية
أنا أصلي بري ذوقي شرقي صوتي سحر بخير وشر
رقصة حية.
I loved Yusur's voice. It's not so it's in between. Yeah, so I started listening to her songs. Immediately hit me that it's gonna fit into the films. I started trying on certain scenes, and I thought, yeah, that's what I want to use in my film. I contacted her, and she was very responsive. And then she said, but those songs that you chose, they are not political, and they have nothing to do with Palestine or with the homeland, or because you're saying, or even the sea, because you're saying that it's a documentary and it's not a romantic film. These are romantic songs, especially the first two, Nari and Shulli Jarali. So I said, yeah, it doesn't have to be a romantic. I have a romantic relationship with the sea, so don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. She said, okay, whatever you think is.
And I thought it works perfectly, because she's someone who strikes me as someone who's trying to break a stereotype in general, as a singer, as an artist, as a Palestinian, and it kind of reflects also Bisan's what Bisan does. She is breaking the stereotype, so it kind of made sense to me.
Yeah, and also تعرفي بالغيب, which is at the ending. It has a lot to do with the title of the film, with what I was saying in the beginning about the spirituality of the place, the mystical part to it. So I think, تعرفي بالغيب, it's there. We start with this, what is the seven waves, إيش السبع موجات, and then we go back to تعرفي بالغيب. It's a place that wants to know about the future, but it's never there. You never have the answer.
And I think what you said is very true, that you don't have to speak necessarily about Palestine and the land and occupation to actually be Palestinian, or to actually reflect what Palestine is, because it kind of becomes part of us, whatever we talk about, even if it's a romantic song,
Absolutely. And it's embodied in our culture, the love to the homeland is like the love to, it's like a romantic relationship. So as you said, it doesn't have to be, literal.
Exactly. So tell us what inspires you from, in general, from other filmmakers or other Palestinian artwork.
My favorite, and I'm inspired by Azhar Farahidi. He's an Iranian film director. I'm so influenced by his work, because he never tries to spoon feed the audience. He never tries to judge his characters. And he was here in Amman Film Festival like a few months ago, and I went to his master class, and he was saying that, like, they were asking him, "You are so successful in building the characters," and he said, "Yeah, because even the villain has a humane part to him or to her, and all of us are like that. There is no person who's like totally bad or totally good, and that's what makes him that special, because he knows how to humanize his characters
Mhm, mhm.
and get everything out of them,
Mm.
the good and the bad." And uh, yeah, I'm inspired by him, because this is how I see people and life and everything. There's not a single side to anything.
I can see, probably, I don't know if it's his influence, but I can see what you're saying in the first opening shot of لسه عايشة. To me, it was very dark, but to me, it was very heavy. But I think it was brilliant that you started with it. So it opens up with you asking Aisha, what do you hate about yourself? I'm like, لسه ما بديناش. We didn't even start يعني. But I thought it was a very, very smart decision, because it kind of set the tone. And you immediately love her. You immediately love how open she is and how generous she is about her emotions and about herself and about her perception of the world. So yeah, but it's not a typical way a filmmaker would start a film, you know? So I'm glad you did. So Asma, you've been to Gaza in 2008 to document the war. You've been after the 2021 war. If, and inshallah, the war ends in Gaza, would you go back?
Of course.
What would your film be about this time?
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going there to film. I just want to be there around the people I know and my friends who are still alive. I haven't thought at all about filming. I just need to be there.
But
I'm
inshallah,
going.
you'll go back and you will show everyone the film, as you said.
Inshallah,
And
yeah.
also Bisan can see it and everyone can see it.
Also, yeah, I actually tried to go there during the war,
Oh,
but
wow.
I was rejected.
But you wanted to go there to film? What did you want to do exactly?
Yeah, I wanted to be there, as I said, but yeah, I wanted to film. I wanted to be there, to film, to be with the people. I don't know. I just wanted to be there. But yeah, mostly, of course, if I'm there, I'll definitely start filming without any hesitation. But yeah, I was too emotional about it. I'm still emotional about it. And if I get the chance, the problem is also my family are outside. Most of my family members left. So it's becoming harder to go, because where would I stay, you know? And there's no Ma'bar Rafah now. But yeah, I'm definitely going back, inshallah. Definitely.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Asma. It was lovely having you.
Thank you, Tala.
وانا راضي باللي كان واللي جاي لو وجعان كتير قلبي يلا بتنادينا الرحلة نقطع النهر للطف.
Thank you for listening to Tarwida. Don't forget to tune in 2 weeks from now to listen to our next episode. You can stay updated with our latest content by following us on Instagram @Tarwida Podcast. Salam.
تعرف بالغياب واقف حلمي عالباب عمري ما حسبت حساب أنا قلبي ضايع